Right now, trillions of bacteria are living inside your gut, and some of them are deciding whether your body burns fat or stores it. Most people think weight loss is all about calories in, calories out. Eat less, move more, lose weight. Simple, right? But here's what scientists have discovered. Two people can eat the exact same food, do the exact same exercise, and one person loses weight while the other doesn't. The difference? Their gut bacteria. And if you've been eating yogurt thinking you're helping yourself, you might actually be making it harder to lose weight because the most common probiotic strain in yogurt is scientifically linked to weight gain, not weight loss. Today, I'm breaking down the clinical research on specific probiotic strains that have been proven to reduce belly fat. Not speculation, not theory, actual human trials with measurable results. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly which probiotics work, which ones don't, and how to use them properly. Let's get into it. Your intestines contain around 100 trillion bacterial cells. That's more bacteria in your gut than cells in your entire body. And these bacteria aren't passive. They're actively controlling your metabolism, hunger hormones, and fat storage. Gut bacteria produce molecules called short-chain fatty acids. These molecules signal your body to either store energy as fat or burn it as fuel. In 2006, Dr. Jeffrey Gordon at Washington University did a groundbreaking experiment. His team transplanted gut bacteria from obese mice into lean mice. The lean mice started gaining fat, even though their food intake didn't change. Same diet, same exercise, different bacteria, different results. This study was published in Nature and showed that your gut microbiome directly influences fat storage. Now here's where it gets interesting for humans. Researchers found that obese people have a different ratio of gut bacteria compared to lean people. Specifically, obese individuals have more bacteria from a family called firmicutes and fewer from a family called bacteroides. Lean people have the opposite pattern. Why does this matter? Because firmicutes are exceptionally efficient at extracting calories from food. They break down complex carbohydrates that your body normally couldn't digest. So if you have too many firmicutes bacteria, your body absorbs more calories from the same meal compared to someone with more bacteroides. A 2013 study in the ISME journal showed that obese people had up to 20% more firmicutes than lean individuals. You could be eating the same food as someone else, but absorbing more calories just because of your gut bacteria. If you've been doing everything right but still can't lose weight, your gut bacteria might be working against you. This is where specific probiotic strains come in, but not all probiotics are created equal. Not all probiotics help with fat loss. In fact, some can make you gain weight. The strain matters more than anything else. Let me show you the strains that actually work based on human clinical trials. This is the most researched strain for fat loss, and for good reason. A 2013 study published in the British Journal of Nutrition followed 210 Japanese adults with high levels of abdominal fat. They were split into groups and consumed fermented milk, either with or without Lactobacillus gasseri SBT 2025 for 12 weeks. The results were significant. People taking this probiotic lost an average of 8.5% of their visceral belly fat, not subcutaneous fat under your skin, visceral fat, the dangerous fat wrapped around your organs. They also lost 1.4% of their overall body fat, plus reductions in waist circumference, hip circumference, and body weight, all without changing their diet or exercise routine. But here's the crucial part. When they stopped taking the probiotic, the fat came back within 4 weeks. This tells us the strain actively supports fat metabolism while you're taking it, not just triggering a one-time effect. Now, here's the mechanism, and this is where it gets really interesting. A 2015 study published in Lipids in Health and Disease revealed exactly how this strain works at the molecular level. Lactobacillus gasseri (SBT 2055) inhibits an enzyme called pancreatic lipase. This enzyme is released by your pancreas and breaks down dietary fats into smaller molecules so your intestines can absorb them. When this probiotic blocks lipase activity, less fat gets broken down. And if the fat doesn't get broken down, your intestines can't absorb it. The unabsorbed fat simply passes through your digestive system. The researchers found that people taking this strain had significantly higher fat excretion in their stool. Their bodies were absorbing less fat from the same meals. This is the same mechanism as the prescription weight loss drug orlistat, except this is a natural bacterial strain. The strain also reduces gut inflammation, improves insulin sensitivity, and helps regulate leptin, the hormone that signals fullness. This strain is particularly effective for women, and the research shows why. A 2014 study in the British Journal of Nutrition split 125 overweight men and women into two groups. Both groups followed a calorie-restricted diet for 12 weeks, then a maintenance phase for another 12 weeks. One group took Lactobacillus rhamnosus daily, the other took a placebo. After 12 weeks, women in the probiotic group lost an average of 4.4 kilograms compared to 2.6 kilograms in the placebo group. That's 69% more weight loss from adding one probiotic. But here's what's fascinating. Men in both groups lost the same amount of weight. The probiotic had zero effect on men. Why the gender difference? The researchers found this strain specifically affects estrogen metabolism and how women store fat in stubborn areas like hips and thighs. The strain also reduces leaky gut when your intestinal barrier becomes too permeable and triggers systemic inflammation that makes your body hold onto fat. Women who took the probiotic continued losing weight during maintenance, while the placebo group regained weight. This strain targets visceral fat specifically, the most dangerous type of fat for your health. A 2015 study published in the Journal of Nutritional Science tested Bifidobacterium breve B3 on adults with obesity tendencies. After 12 weeks of supplementation, the probiotic group had significantly reduced body fat mass, an average of 0.7 kilograms. But more importantly, they saw reductions in visceral fat area measured by CT scan. This is the fat around your liver, pancreas, and other organs that drives insulin resistance and metabolic disease. A follow-up study in 2018, published in Bioscience, Biotechnology, and Biochemistry, confirmed these results in pre-obese adults. Participants taking B breve B3 showed reduced body fat percentage, especially in the trunk region where visceral fat accumulates. This strain works differently than L. gasseri. Instead of blocking fat absorption, it increases your body's production of short-chain fatty acids. These fatty acids signal your fat cells to release stored energy instead of holding onto it. They also improve insulin sensitivity, which keeps your body in fat-burning mode instead of fat storage mode. The research also showed improvements in blood sugar control, lower triglyceride levels, and reduced cholesterol, all markers of better metabolic health. Now let's talk about what doesn't work, or worse, what can actively make you gain weight. Lactobacillus acidophilus. This is the most common strain in yogurt, kefir, and cheap probiotic supplements. Walk into any grocery store and you'll see it on almost every product. But here's the problem. Multiple studies show it's associated with weight gain, not weight loss. A 2012 meta-analysis published in Microbial Pathogenesis analyzed 17 randomized controlled trials in humans and 51 studies in animals. The researchers found that Lactobacillus acidophilus administration resulted in significant weight gain in both humans and animals. The effect was consistent across multiple species. In fact, farmers intentionally use this strain as a feed supplement to help pigs, chickens, and cattle gain weight faster. The mechanism isn't fully understood, but researchers believe this strain enhances fat absorption in the intestines, the exact opposite of what L-Gasseri does. So if your probiotic supplement is loaded with L-acidophilus and your goal is fat loss, you might be actively working against yourself. Check your labels carefully. Most probiotic supplements on the market contain 10, 15, or even 20 different strains. The marketing makes it sound better. More strains means more benefits. Not necessarily. In fact, often the opposite is true. When you combine too many strains without proper research, they can compete with each other in your gut. Some strains produce substances that inhibit other strains. Some need different pH levels or nutrients. The result is that you end up with a probiotic supplement where the beneficial strains get crowded out by the less effective ones. For fat loss specifically, you want targeted strains at therapeutic doses, not a kitchen sink approach with a little bit of everything. The research is clear. Specific strains at specific doses produce specific effects. Random combinations don't. The research gives us clear guidelines on how to use probiotics for fat loss. Most successful studies used between 1 billion and 10 billion CFU, colony-forming units, per day. Higher isn't always better. Look for supplements containing at least 1 billion CFU of the specific strains L-Gasseri SBT2055, L-rhamnosus CGMCC 1.3724, or B. breve B3. The strain designation matters. Not all L-Gasseri strains work the same way. Take probiotics on an empty stomach first thing in the morning or with a small meal. Why? Because stomach acid can kill some bacterial strains before they reach your intestines. Some supplements use enteric coating, a protective shell that dissolves in your intestines instead of your stomach. If your supplement doesn't have this, taking it with food helps buffer the acid. Remember that L-Gasseri study where fat came back after stopping? Probiotics need regular supplementation to maintain their effects. Prebiotics are the food that feed probiotics. There's specific types of fiber that your body can't digest, but your gut bacteria can ferment. Without prebiotics, your probiotics won't survive or multiply in your gut. They'll just pass through without establishing a colony. Good prebiotic sources include garlic, onions, leeks, asparagus, bananas, oats, apples, and chicory root. You need about 5 to 10 grams of prebiotic fiber per day to support your probiotic supplementation. Some supplements combine probiotics and prebiotics into one product called a synbiotic. These can be convenient, but make sure the prebiotic is actually useful. Inulin, fructooligosaccharides, or galactooligosaccharides are the ones supported by research. Even if you're taking the right probiotics at the right dose, certain things can completely wipe them out. Antibiotics kill both bad and good bacteria. A single course can reduce your gut bacterial diversity by 25 to 50%. If you need antibiotics, take probiotics at least 2 hours apart. Continue probiotics for at least a month after finishing antibiotics to restore your microbiome. Bad bacteria and yeast love sugar. The more sugar you eat, the more you feed the harmful strains that promote inflammation and fat storage. Processed foods contain emulsifiers, chemicals that keep ingredients mixed together. Research shows these emulsifiers damage your gut lining and directly kill beneficial bacteria. Artificial sweeteners are even worse. Studies show they alter gut bacteria composition in ways that increase glucose intolerance and weight gain. Stress hormones directly alter your gut microbiome, reducing beneficial bacteria. This is why stress causes weight gain even without changes in food intake. A 2016 study in molecular metabolism showed that just 2 nights of poor sleep significantly altered gut bacteria in ways that promote fat storage. Your gut bacteria follow a circadian rhythm. When your sleep is disrupted, so is your microbiome. Aim for 7 to 9 hours per night. Let me be direct. Probiotics are not a magic solution. They won't burn fat if you're eating fast food every day and never exercising. They're a support tool, not a replacement for healthy habits. The research shows modest but consistent effects. You're looking at approximately 1 to 2 pounds of additional fat loss per month from probiotics, on top of what diet and exercise achieve. Over 6 months, that's an extra 6 to 12 pounds. And we're talking about visceral belly fat specifically, the most dangerous type for your health. But you're also improving your entire gut ecosystem, which affects your immune system, mood, energy levels, skin health, and sleep quality. Fat loss is just one benefit of a balanced microbiome. Specific probiotic strains support fat loss through different mechanisms. Lactobacillus gasseri SBT2055 reduces belly fat by blocking the enzyme that breaks down dietary fats, reducing fat absorption by up to 8.5% of visceral fat area. Lactobacillus rhamnosus CGMCC 1.3724 helps women lose significantly more weight during calorie restriction and prevents weight regain during maintenance phases. Bifidobacterium breve B3 reduces visceral fat by improving how your body uses stored fat for energy and enhancing insulin sensitivity. Avoid Lactobacillus acidophilus if fat loss is your goal. The meta-analysis evidence clearly shows it's associated with weight gain in both humans and animals. Take probiotics consistently at therapeutic doses, combine them with prebiotic foods, and protect your gut microbiome by managing stress, getting adequate sleep, and limiting sugar and processed foods. Remember, probiotics work best when you're already doing the basics, eating real food, moving your body, and taking care of your sleep and stress. They're not a replacement for these fundamentals. They're a way to optimize the results you get from doing what you already know you should be doing. If this video helped you understand which probiotics actually work for fat loss based on clinical evidence, share it with someone who's been struggling with their weight. Your gut health matters more than you think. Thanks for watching.